Yeah, and so I bought another Nakamichi cassette deck. This time it's a BX-150, which is not all that much different from the BX-125. As you can see here, sharing all the features of a BX-125 with slightly different styling. These controls being identical, and the most prominent feature being the digital counter and rearranged switches. This unit I bought locally, so I knew exactly what I was buying after an inspection. And I do have to say I prefer the look of a red LED counter to the mechanical counter of the BX-125. The right hand side of the two decks also looks very similar, including all the switches for the tape type and EQ selection switches, as well as Dolby selectors. The big difference being the BX-150 uses third slider output for output level, and it has more prominent lights for Dolby B and Dolby C that are located above the level meters. All these extra styling features giving it a more involved, more upmarket look, I guess. I have removed the aluminium backing plate earlier to have a better look at the mechanism, or the idler tire to be more specific. The cassette door slides out to the top for a better look inside as well. Let's have a look. Before we look at the idler tire, let's see if this deck plays the cassette at all and how it does it. And yes, it will play a cassette. Will it rewind or fast forward the cassette? No. One tip I can give you is if you're buying a cassette deck and the seller doesn't have an amplifier or anything to plug it into, bring in a set of headphones and listen to it on your headphones. At least you'll be able to establish if it works and how it plays without hooking it up to anything. That way you'll be able to get an idea how the cassette deck plays, what repairs, if any, will have to be made. With most cassette decks getting fairly old, you'll probably need belts replaced, and in this case the idler tire replaced as well. Not all cassette decks have an idler tire. Some have gears that run the fast forward and rewind mechanism. Decks that eliminate the idler tire, there's obviously less rubber parts to be replaced. But back to this deck, while it plays okay, I suppose, well, it does not rewind or fast forward. So let's have a look at that idler tire and see what's wrong with it. The Nakamichi BX-150 is a two-head deck, and don't let that put you off. It's one of the best two-deck heads. Uses Nakamichi's own heads. But let's focus on the idler tire, which in this case is split in half. So I'll have to replace the idler tire, and I might as well replace all the rubber belts on this deck as well while I'm there. Let's check out inside the deck itself, and this deck would be probably identical to the BX-125, perhaps with extra circuitry for the digital counter itself. Again, doubled up Dolby chips for Dolby B and Dolby C, and as you can see, the wiring is all neat compared to the BX-125 that I've shown in a previous video. And because this deck had no repairs prior at all whatsoever. So there will be a future video about this deck again, about putting new idler tire on it and putting all new rubber belts on it. It's a 3-motor mechanism, and I hope to see you in this video again. This is the back of the unit. One more quick look inside from the other side, looking at the mechanism and the front of the unit. It's 3-motor mechanism, and it's actually playing now as we speak. One last look at the internals of this cassette deck. The back of the BX-150, which is on top, is identical to the BX-125, which is below it. And the high 5 feet I've added to the BX-125 after I bought it. This is not how it came out of the factory. Thanks for watching, and see you next or the previous video.